Past couple of days, we have been listening to these different stories and answering questions about them. This story, the one we're going to listen to today, is called Legend of the Indian Paintbrush. Okay, we can go ahead and turn our cameras back on. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to, yeah, I agree with you, Christopher. I think part of it was kind of sad, right? But I think it ended up with the happy ending. I want you to go to classwork. I want you to go to reading, and I want you to find that assignment. Legend, Legend of the Indian Paintbrush.
Where do we go to get?
You go to classwork, and then you go to the reading topic. I want you to open up the slides with the questions, and it's just like the other ones we've done before. It's got questions about who were the characters. It's got a question about the summary, things like that. And I want to give you some time. I want you to try to answer the questions, and then in a bit, we'll go and look at the questions together, and we'll see if there's something that we need to fix or if we got everything correct. I want you all to take the time now. Go ahead, open up those slides. Should be 3 slides to it. And I want you to answer the questions about the story that we just heard. If you need to hear the story again or hear a specific part of it, the video is also there, so you can click on the video to hear a part back if you forgot what happened during a part of the story. Who can tell me, who are the characters in our story for today? Ezekiel? Okay. Okay. Do you have anybody else, or is that it? Was his mom in the story? What part of the story was his mom in? What did she do? If we can't remember what the character did, it might not be a good idea to put them in our list of characters. I think the first two you have are great. Gopher, very important to the story. The Warriors, also very important to the story. But his mom didn't really do anything in the story. So probably not someone that we want to put into our list. But there are other characters that I do think we need to add. So who can help Ezekiel finish out this list? We have Gopher, we have the Warriors, but who else should we add? Bailey?
Uh, Clouds?
Okay, the people in the clouds. So, those people in the clouds, they said that there was a grandfather and a young maiden. They are definitely important to the story, so I do think that we should put them down as characters. What about the setting? I think the story had a couple of different settings, but who can give me a setting that they put down? Jaylene, what's one setting you can think of?
A desert.
Okay, maybe we can say the desert. Why do you say the desert? There was hills, yeah, but I saw a lot of grass in parts of those pictures. Would there be lots of grass in the desert? No, probably not. I do think the hills are important though, because the hills are where he watched the sunset, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And if he was gonna watch the sunset there, what time of day would it be? At sunset. We can put hills at sunset. But there were other places. Who can give me another? Oh, what's up, Jaylene?
My internet.
Okay. Who can give me another setting? Because it was not just the hills at sunset. Kylie? Okay. Outside. And when could we, like, what time of day would they be outside? At sunset? Nighttime too. I would also say during the day, right? Like when he would watch the Warriors leave. We could put outside all at all times, right? We saw parts of him during the day, at sunset, at nighttime. So I mean, really, a lot of times here. But during the day or night. What about the point of view? We said for point of view, there are two main kinds that we deal with in fourth grade. There is first person point of view, which means that the person who is telling us the story is one of our characters, or third person point of view, which means that the person telling us our story is not one of our characters. Jadine, what would you say?
I would say person because the boy didn't really talk a lot.
I'd agree with that. The boy didn't really tell us a whole lot of the story, right? It was mostly the narrator telling us what was going on. So I think that's a great answer. What about author's purpose? Why did the author write this story? Was it to persuade, to inform, or entertain? Bradley, what do you think? Okay. And what kind of emotions do you think the author wanted you to feel? Do you think this was supposed to be a happy story, a sad story, or a scary story? Okay, like questionable about what? Like what? Okay, like curious. Okay. I might give you some questions. That would be a good emotion. Can anyone think of another one? What's an emotion that the author might want you to feel? Kylie? Okay, happy because he waited for a long time, right? It wasn't just like one day or a few minutes. He had to wait a long time to find those colors. So the author was probably trying to entertain us, trying to make us feel some kind of emotion. Okay. Theme and lesson. So theme and lesson are very similar. Like I told Christopher, usually the lesson is like a whole sentence, like you should not do this or you should do this. And the theme is usually a little bit shorter than that. So who can tell me whichever one you would prefer, the theme or the lesson? What do you think the theme or the lesson was for this story? Jadine?
Gopher was he was kind of
I like that. So not to judge a book by its cover, and I like your details. That Gopher was really small, but he ended up being pretty important to the tribe, right? Bailey, did you have the same answer or a different answer?
the same answer.
Oh, okay. What about you, Bella? Same answer or different answer? So I don't think that's a bad way to say it at all, JD. Maybe not to judge a book by its cover, or the way that I kind of thought of it. Well, tell me, Bella, is it the same or different? Did you have a different answer, or was it the same answer that Jadine said? Okay. So I like that you mentioned about people being different because you're right, and Jadine kind of mentioned that too with her answer. Gopher wasn't the same as the other the other kids in the tribe, right? He talked about how he wanted to go and he wanted to go on hunts with them and he wanted to be warriors like them, but he wasn't. Like you said, his personality, or like Jadine said, he was a lot smaller than the other kids. So maybe we could also say that the lesson learned is that, like, not everybody is the same. That people are different. They have different skills, different things that they're good at. Because I like how Jadine mentioned that even though he was small and he thought, oh well, the other kids, they're warriors, they're really important, and you know I'm just sitting here, I'm not doing anything. But he ended up being really important at the end, right? Because he was able to paint, and after he painted, he they had all those flowers around them, all the different colors. So for the lesson learned, I kind of like the way that Jadine put it. We can put, don't judge a book by its cover, or like Bella said, we can put, everyone is different. Either one of those would be okay. Because Gopher never said that the Warriors were not important. The Warriors never said that Gopher wasn't important. So we know that even though they are different and they have different skills, they're both important. About the theme, kind of like with the lesson learned, there's a couple of ways we could say it. Um, we could talk about, well, the theme could be about uh say different skills or different gifts. Because like how the warriors were really good at hunting, they brought back all the skins for him to paint with. But I think if they switched places, like if Gopher went on a hunt and one of the warriors stayed behind to paint, that the hunt probably wouldn't go very well and the painting might not turn out very well. Because those pictures they showed us, those paintings were very, very impressive. They were very good looking paintings. And I don't know if you guys have ever tried, but I mean, painting, you think it looks pretty easy. Like you just think, oh, you just, rub a brush on some paper. It's nothing. But if you actually go and try to paint, it's a lot harder than it looks. Same thing with drawing, I think. You see some people drawing and some people are really good and they can draw people's faces and stuff and you think, "Oh, that's easy. It's just a pencil and paper." And then you try it and I don't know. Like the last time I tried to draw somebody, I think it looked like a Pop-Tart with legs. Like it didn't look like a person. And it's weird that some people are so good at it that they just make it look so easy. And it's not. It really does take a lot of skill. Bailey, you have a question or something to say?
Um, yeah, for the painting thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
First time hobby side,
Mm-hmm.
it turned out
Yeah. It's not always easy for people to paint or to be artistic. Like you again, it looks pretty simple. You think, "Oh, it's just a brush or a pencil and some paper." But when you try it, there's a lot more to it than that. Bradley, do you have a question or
to say
Okay.
that
So what do you think?
I think the one thing that is never
Okay. I could see that cuz you're right. It talked about how a few times, right? He was waiting for those colors and that he really wanted to go on the hunts. He wanted to go with everyone else and he had to be patient, right?
and it had to wait a long time, but they didn't give
Yeah.
up to the because I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think if he had given up, they wouldn't have given him the brushes. And Bradley, is it easy to be patient? Is it easy to wait a long time?
No, it's easy.
No. Sometimes it's not even easy to wait a little bit.
We waited.
Yeah. So you know what? I think that would be a an okay theme to put there. Maybe being patient or that you need to sometimes you need to wait. Okay, let's look at our question. See if we can find the best answer choice here. It says what conclusion can the reader make based on this selection? So remember, conclusions have to come with proof. There has to be something in the story, something they tell us or something they say that kind of proves or that shows us that this answer choice is the best one to pick or that it's going to happen. Let's look at our answer choices. A. Little Gopher made his tribe very proud with his unique gift. B. Little Gopher was a disappointment to his tribe. C. Little Gopher never found his purpose among the tribe. Or D. Little Gopher grew up to be a warrior like other boys in his tribe. Who can tell me what answer choice you thought was the best and what was your proof? What did the story tell us or show us to prove that answer? Bella? He made his tribe very proud with his unique gift. Okay, and how do we know his tribe was proud? What did they do or what did they say? Or we could use a picture from the book. What did they show us that lets us know his tribe was proud? Well, he was patient, but that doesn't show us that his tribe is proud. What happened in the story, either that they told us or that they might have shown us with a picture, that lets us know that his tribe was proud? What does it mean for someone to be proud? What does that mean? If someone says that they're proud, like if someone says that they're proud of you, what does that mean? Alexa?
Sorry for the background noise. Proud means
Okay, that's a great way to explain it. If someone is really happy for you, so they're not happy for themselves, but they're happy for you. Another way to think about it or to say it might be like they're really impressed with you. Like you did something and they're thinking, wow, that is awesome. Or like that was really tough and you did that. So how do we know? How do they prove that his tribe was proud of him, that they were happy for him, or that they were impressed by what he did? Kylie? We were saying A. Little Gopher made his tribe very proud with his unique gift. What does the tribe do that kind of shows us they're proud?
go.
So at the end, right? They tell us the tribe was proud of his gift. So even though he wasn't a warrior like everybody else, they still saw what he did and they were really impressed. They were really happy about what he was able to do. So I'm going to grab my scribble tool. I'm going to circle answer choice A. And my summary. So again, a good summary should talk about the characters, about the problem, about the solution, and about the setting. So who can give me a summary that I could write down here? Jadine, what did you write down for your summary?
I have time too because I lost. Yeah.
Okay.
Was Sunday for sorry.
Okay.
My little sister. One day, no.
So I think so far you've talked about some characters, Little Gopher and the Warriors, and you talked about the big problem. He wanted to be a warrior, but he couldn't. And you said because he was too small. Okay. So we've got our character, or characters. We got our problem. Now, so far, this is fine for the beginning of the story, but the story doesn't end there. It wasn't. Little Gopher was sad because he couldn't be a warrior. The end. So I've got to add some more to my summary. Kylie, what could I add after that? Okay. Okay. So he became an artist and he would paint. He painted a lot of different things, right? He painted like the warriors fighting, he painted like important things, and he painted like some sunsets. He tried a couple of them, they said. So he would paint things so the tribe would remember. Okay. Okay, and how did he end up doing that? Okay, the grandfather and the maiden told him how to find the colors he was looking for. And once he found those colors and he made his painting, how did everyone feel? Okay. So we can put that as the end of our summary because we have all of our characters now. The little gopher wanted to be a warrior, but he couldn't because he was too. Became an artist, he would paint things so the tribe would remember. Grandfather and the maiden told him how to find the colors he was looking for. When he painted the sunset, his tribe was proud of him. Oh, you know what we forgot? We forgot the setting. But I know where you could fix it. Little Gopher wanted to be a warrior like the other boys in his village, but he couldn't because he was too small. So now that we talk about the village, we have our setting too. So he became an artist. He would paint things so the tribe would remember. The grandfather and the maiden told him how to find the colors he was looking for. Painted the sunset. His tribe was proud of him. I think that ended up being a really good summary. And again, if your summary is a little bit different than mine, if it's not exactly the same, that is okay. So long as you talk about those 4 things in your summary. The characters, you want to make sure you talk about Little Gopher, about the warriors, about grandfather, and about the maiden. Okay, Christopher. You want to make sure you talk about the problem that Little Gopher wanted to be a warrior, but he couldn't. You want to make sure that you talk about how he fixed that. He became an artist and they really liked what he painted. And about the setting. We could talk about the hills. We could talk about his village. We talked about sunset, which was a very important thing to him because that's what he wanted to paint all those years. All that time was the sunset.